My name is Michael Rama. I'm studying Russian as a major, and I'm a senior.
My name is Bridget McAvoy, and I'm not a heritage speaker of Russian, though I'm like partially Ukrainian. That's about it.
My name is Toby Schofield, and I am a double major in math and Russian.
My name is Valeria Timoshenko, and I'm minoring in Russian language and literature.
My name is Davin Lee, and I'm minoring in Russian literature. I'm majoring in psychology.
I'm Donald Corder. My major is history and Russian.
My name is Rusty Kharkov. I'm a junior here at Rutgers University, and I study Russian language and literature, and also political science.
What really got me to decide to major in it was that one of my best friends freshman year got me to read The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky.
It never really left me after reading that in high school. Throughout college, I was reading it and rereading it.
I mean, just learning about new authors, talking about them, discovering Chekhov, Gogol, Bulgakov.
I feel like this is a common story among Russian majors, but I actually read Crime and Punishment in high school, and I loved it so much that I just became interested in Russia and Russian writers and everything, and I'm also an English major, so I'm doing a double major. The Russian thing kind of sprung out of Crime and Punishment.
Being able to connect on a cultural level that way through reading that literature was really important because it also keeps me in touch with my family and my background. I'm a native Russian speaker, but my reading and writing skills are not ideal. So that's why I chose the literature and language track combined.
I wanted to be able to read like Russian historical texts and stuff, but eventually it just became very interesting to me, and I became like what they call a Russophile, someone who's not really Russian but is just very into Russian culture.
Most people in my family don't speak Russian, so I guess it's just nice for me to be able to continue carrying the culture on.
I chose to study Russian after high school because I'm also an Air Force ROTC cadet, and it's a critical language for our national security, and it's something that the military and the government in general looks for.
We have several options for majors and minors. Our major is in Russian language and literature, so students study the Russian language as well as learning about the canon of Russian literature, and so they'll take about half their courses in each of those two topics. And then for the minor, there are three options, so students can focus on just the Russian language, students can focus just on Russian literature without having to learn the language, or they can do a combination of both.
For me, the highlights are definitely the classes, especially the higher level classes. I really enjoyed the ones with not as many people.
Our department is on the smaller size, which is actually really great for students because they get a lot of personal attention.
Being a student here at Rutgers, it's easy to just become a number because we have such a large campus. However, being in a smaller department like the Russian department, you learn everybody's names, you know everyone in your classes, the professors really know who you are as a person.
I can engage with a language that I have a lot of appreciation for and a culture that I have a lot of interest in, and to be able to find like-minded people who I can discuss my interests with.
Friends that who are also really smart people, really smart philosophers, mathematicians.
In our Russian program, our students actually have a club called the Russian Club. We also have a bunch of annual program events, like a really fun Masnitsa event, like we just had. Tons of pancakes, music, song, performances by our students. We have a poetry evening every year where students recite poetry from heart that they've learned in their Russian classes. We also run an entire summer program in St. Petersburg, Rutgers in Russia. So students have the opportunity to be in one of the most beautiful cities in the world, really, and one of the two most important cities in Russia.
I really enjoyed the initial language classes that I took, like the introductory language classes, because I felt like I was just like thrown into like this new language with this new alphabet.
I think at first it was definitely a challenge, and it still is challenging. I think one of the biggest things is being shy and afraid to speak Russian around Russian speakers. But that's just something that goes along with learning any language.
Knowing a second language or having any kind of cultural knowledge in the 21st century is a huge benefit.
The most rewarding thing is when you hear someone speaking Russian outside of class and you can kind of understand what they're saying. It's like, wow, I actually am learning something.